Republican Congressman Burgess Owens joins our conversations. We watch these pictures being fed back to us, the congressman from Utah. You know, what's interesting, Congressman Owens, about all of this is that if you look at the Trump team, and I think we had this discussion a day or two ago in the show, and somebody said, boy, if you said a week or two ago, would they have gotten everybody through, whether Tulsi Gabbard or RFK Jr.? And, well, I don't know. I'm not so sure. But now it looks like he will get his whole team, right? Are you surprised at all by any of this?
I'm not surprised only because of the power of President Trump. He has a mandate, and American people expect certain things, and those of us on the Republican team understand that. I will say this. I read a book years ago. One of my favorite presidents was President Lincoln. And to find out his four-year term was because of the team of rivals. That's the name of the book. It was unbelievable, and we're seeing it again. Those who were not on the same team, but we all have one thing in common. We love our country and America's first. So he's being the best of minds, but what point and what time part of different parties or competitors, and we're all now moving in the same direction. I'm very excited about that.
It's funny you say that. I know what you mean by it, because Kennedy obviously is a former Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard used to be a Democrat. I know what you're saying, that these people are different. But the reason I say it's funny you say it is because so many people coming into this Trump administration said the real test for someone who wants to join the administration is their loyalty to Trump. In other words, that it would be the opposite of that it wouldn't necessarily be people who disagreed ideologically or stood up to the president.
No, it's the loyalty to our country. Robert Kennedy is not going to vote. He's still not on the same page with some of the things that President Trump wants to do. But there's an area that he's an expert at, and that area is where he's going to focus on, and that will be his lane. And I will say across the board, what President Trump has surrounded himself with are people who love our country first, and we're going to start seeing that in a big way. I'm excited about it.
You're comfortable with Kennedy across the board and his views, obviously controversial on so many issues, not just vaccines, but other issues. You're comfortable with him in this position?
I'm comfortable in the area of health. He wants to make our country healthy again.
Okay.
That is the one area I'm very, very comfortable with. Anything else, I'm probably not as comfortable with, because that's not his lane. He's not a conservative Republican like I am. But in the area that he's focused on, he's going to do a really good job for us.
I wanted to talk to you about education, while I had you on as well today. I know you're on the committee for higher education, because Linda McMahon's hearing, we were watching it earlier when it was taking place, to be the new Secretary of Education. And that, there were a lot of interesting moments in that. I guess what's kind of interesting about that is that the president himself has said he wants to, eliminate the department. Let me play a little bit from the hearing. I want to get your take on all of this. This is from the McMahon hearing.
He pledged to make American education the best in the world, return education to the states where it belongs, and free American students from the education bureaucracy through school choice. November proved that Americans overwhelmingly support the president's vision, and I am ready to enact it.
Ready to enact it. It seemed just kind of strange to have someone applying for a job that the boss says that they want to eliminate eventually.
Well, that's the end game, and elimination is only because she sees as the best place to put the power and the money into the hands of the state and the parents. Of course, there's going to be a process. We'll have to codify some of the things that President Trump is doing, but the vision, and that is, at the end of the day, they've proven, the Department of Education has been proven not to work after 50 years. We started off in '78 as one of the best in the world. We're now one of the worst. If the products are our kids, they have proven they have nothing to say about this process. So I would suggest the Democrats is to get on the sidelines, sit back and watch how leadership works, how it is now to focus on our kids.
Right.
And by the way, the way tariffs are going, we're going to need to have great talent coming from here to build things, to make things, to envision things. Business is going to come back to our country like never before. We need to have good talent to do that.
Understood. I understand the argument, at least the points you're making, but it's not going to happen, Congressman, because they would need to go through you guys in the Congress. They'll never get those votes to eliminate a department like that in the Senate, will they?
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll see how that works out. At the end of the day, we're going to do some great things. With those, we're going to start to find out where the waste is. We're going to start, there are things we can do right now. We can push, we can decentralize, we can push things back to the state, we can do block grants. There are things that are going to happen with Linda McMahon.
In other words, you can gut the department even if you don't eliminate it, essentially, is what you're saying.
We can actually send the power back to where it belongs. And that's exactly what we get done. To officially get rid of it, we might have to take a different path to codify it, but to make sure that the parents and the students are the focal point. We can get that done with the people like Linda McMahon at the helm. We can get that accomplished for sure.
All right, we'll keep talking about it with you. Again, hopefully we'll have you back again soon as well. Thank you, Congressman, for coming on. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.